Hi, my name is Karishma.
Hi, my name is Beth.
Hi, I'm Grace.
Our health issue we have chosen to look at is depression amongst adolescents in New Zealand. Depression is a mood disorder that causes persistent feelings of sadness and a loss of interest in activities. It affects the way we feel, think, and behave, and can lead to a variety of physical and emotional problems. Depression amongst teenagers in New Zealand is a leading mental health issue because of the huge amount of adolescents affected by depression on a major or minor scale. Approximately 1 in 7 young people in New Zealand will experience a major depressive disorder before the age of 24. In teenagers, 9% of young males and 18% of young females suffer from depression, affecting their everyday lifestyle. John Curran, 2014. This is an alarming number of adolescents affected by depression, which makes it a very important health issue in New Zealand. As educators, we have the most contact with adolescents, seeing them 5 days a week for 6 hours a day. Hence why it is important for us to be able to recognise if an adolescent is suffering from a mental health issue, and if they are, how are we going to help them in a way that best suits the individual.
Depression is an adolescent health issue because of the large statistic of adolescents who experience depression. According to research published in the international journal BMC Medicine in 2011, shows that out of 18 countries, New Zealand consistently ranked in the top 25% on nearly every measure of depression. Bromett et al. 2011. For the size of our country, compared to the others in this study, Canada, Chile, Germany, United States of America, etc., this is a shocking statistic. If we do not educate about depression at such a young age, where adolescents are impressionable to the influences from the wider society, such as media, social platforms, and celebrities, the severity of depression can have a huge impact on their lives during the transition from adolescence to adulthood. In the 2012/13 New Zealand Health Survey, 1 in 6 New Zealand adults had been diagnosed with a common mental disorder at some time in their lives, including depression, bipolar disorder, and/or anxiety disorder. Ministry of Health, 2012. If adolescents have a better understanding about depression, we can start to combat the increase in depression within our society and start to help each other.
In our society today, we feel that adolescents are heavily influenced by social media platforms. For example, a social media application called Instagram. The app is designed to allow the user to post photos of their life, which then get viewed by their followers, who can like the post and comment their thoughts if they choose. In our opinion, the app is a complete manipulation of your lifestyle, as we only post positive pictures to glorify our life in comparison to our followers. According to a study by Love, Trubb, and Rosenfeld in 2015, Instagram use was positively associated with depressive symptoms. An adolescent having a social media platform on an app like Instagram can be very harmful to their well-being, as one bad comment or not receiving enough likes can be a contributing factor to low self-esteem or self-worth. Individuals who experience low or negative collective self-esteem, perceiving their social group to be an undesirable or unpopular one, may wish to distance themselves from it, particularly if they believe the others evaluate the group negatively. Barker, 2009.
The social determinants of health are conditions in which people are born, grow, live, work, and age. We found that stress, social support, addiction, and social exclusion are the most closely related to people that experience depression, as they contributed to, reflected in, or can be a result of the following risk factors: high levels of poverty, witnessing violence at home, and experiencing bullying at school. These risk factors are stated to be significant risk factors for depression. Denny, Fleming, Clark, and Wall, 2010.
In 2011/12, 3.2% of children aged 2 to 14 years had been diagnosed with depression, anxiety disorder, or behavioural problems, ADHD. This rate increased from 1.8% in 2006/7, Ministry of Health, 2012. In our opinion, there are many factors contributing to depression amongst adolescents in New Zealand because of our society is strongly based on healthism. Healthism is the neoliberal view that health is to a large extent one's own responsibility, and that access to healthcare is a personal choice. It is our job as educators to provide adolescents with the tools to combat the statistics like mentioned above.
I won't stop.
Positive, so
Great.
Part 2, Depression in Schools. In our world today, we are faced with a controversial program on the media platform Netflix. The show 13 Reasons Why focuses on the struggles a teenage girl faces before she's decided to take her own life, and the aftermath of her decision and its impact on her family, friends, school, and community. A common theme within the show is depression, and how many adolescents were affected by her choice, which then led to mental health complication for her peers, leading one of her friends to almost take his life from a series of bullying and depression. These adolescents struggled at school as they were not allowed to talk about suicide, as it was profiled by the school as a taboo subject. They feared it would become a copycat situation. The approach the school took about dealing with student suicide and the resulting feelings of the student body had a negative impact on the students, and it is a great example of what not to do.
Having the school not intersect and educate about mental health resulted in an increase of students experiencing mental health issues such as depression. This shows us that simply discussing and raising awareness of these topics educates people and helps them understand what they may be or others may be going through. From our knowledge, in the New Zealand curriculum, educating about mental health issues is not compulsory and are only available in the subject health if it is taken as an elective in your senior year of high school. In our opinion, this is one of the many reasons why New Zealand adolescents have a high rate of depression compared to other countries. By educating about these issues, we are giving students the tools to use should they ever find themselves in a situation where they need it.
The Ministry of Education has a school community-led development approach called Health Promoting Schools. The purpose of Health Promoting Schools is to improve equity, whānau well-being and educational outcomes through evidence-informed practice. Health Promoting Schools facilitates work with school leaders to provide skills for their whole school community, allowing them to identify health and well-being priorities, and for the students to create and implement an action plan to confront these priorities. This program does not dictate what health and well-being issues the school should address. We believe that depression should be included along with the other prevalent mental health issues amongst New Zealand adolescents.
Positive mental health is a prerequisite if students are to reach their highest academic, physical, and social potential. Ministry of Health, 1999. This is what the Ministry of Health says, but it wasn't reflected in our group schooling experience, as only Karishma was educated about mental health in depth, whereas Beth and myself had minimal experience with mental health education. Karishma and myself both learned about the holistic health model, Haroda. However, my experience was mostly on the physical and spiritual aspects, hardly touching on emotional or mental health. My experience proved to be more detrimental than helpful, as it actually reinforced some stigmas about how mental health should not be talked about. Karishma, on the other hand, was taught about the entire holistic model, which gave her a better understanding of herself and her well-being.
Public health sectors intersect with schools on a minimal level in regards to depression. In our experience, when we were at high school, depression was only talked about in the elective subject health, which had a small backing by the public health service called the Lowdown. The Lowdown is an organisation that helps young adults who are battling with mental health issues find ways to cope and seek help to aid them in their recovery to peak health. Schools support the Lowdown as they use their website to help educate about depression, along with displaying posters around the school to target kids who suffer from mental illness to provide them with information for helplines and strategies to cope with symptoms of depression. This small intersect from the public health with schools shows how little depression is discussed, unless you take the elective subject offered at a senior year level. In our opinion, this is a huge setback from our society, as our statistics for depression amongst adolescents do not have a decreasing trend. Clark TC et al. 2013. Yet our public health sectors still have a minimum engagement with our schools. The percentage of males with significant depressive symptoms increased again in 2012, while significant depressive symptoms amongst females remained relatively stable. Clark TC et al. 2013. Yeah, I needed to sneeze that hard.
In 1986, in Ottawa, Canada, the World Health Organization developed an approach to improve the health of populations and individuals. This is known as the Ottawa Charter and is used in New Zealand as a framework for planning public health initiatives. The Ottawa Charter shows that to improve health of populations and individuals, there is a need to look wider than just providing public health services. If people are able to take responsibility for the health of their families and themselves, they need the determinants of health, which are protection from environmental factors leading to health issues and risks, adequate housing, a livable income, employment, educational opportunities, a sense of belonging and being valued, and a sense of control over life circumstances. World Health Organization, 1986.
The Ottawa Charter provides 3 principles, which are to advocate, enable, and mediate. These can be applied to a health organisation to ensure the individual has the best possible experience in bettering their health using the service provided. These principles are demonstrated by the organisation The Lowdown in relation to depression.
The Lowdown advocates for all people who need a voice and who need support by being a public health service open to speaking about depression with anyone and everyone. They take the point of view of a person suffering from depression, which allows others to see what an individual actually goes through and how you can help them.
The Lowdown enables people by providing them with tools to take control of their health, by talking to people and giving information about how to deal with depression. They also enable adolescents to have a conversation about their mental health by incorporating tests on their website for an individual to take to see if they are suffering from any sign of depression or any other mental illness.
The Lowdown mediates by providing several different groups who can offer support for anyone who suffers from a mental health issue. For example, they provide links to organisations like Youthline, Depression Helpline, Lifeline, etc. on their website, which are easily accessible.
Learning health is something one continuously does, a practice situated in one's life rather than an outcome of any health educative practice. Drawing on this perspective, health education would also attend to the ways in which young people learn not to be involved in, for example, physical activities or other health-related practices. Quinners did it, Burrows and Mavis did it, 2010, page 108.
Partnership work is the act of co-construction with the youth and the development process, policies and programs around youth well-being. For the first part of our task, we are going to watch a video. We would like you to pay close attention to this video as we are going to discuss it afterwards.
What mental illness do you think this could be about?
I think it could possibly be about depression.
What stereotypes, stigmas did you notice in this video?
I guess in the video it had like the biggest statement I took out of it was like you're not sick, you're just sad, and also I can agree with this as well is the idea that exercise has a huge influence on helping an individual return to a healthy state.
Yeah.
Which I've also experienced a lot. So yeah.
Cool. Did it challenge your idea of depression and how people treat people who suffer from depression?
Yeah, it did challenge the view that depression can only be seen if you have had a traumatic experience in your life. It also showed that pretty much anyone can suffer from depression, no matter who you are or your background.
Sweet. Last question, do you think this is an effective way to challenge the stigma surrounding depression and those who are depressed?
No, I agree. It makes you see that it's an actual illness and that anyone can suffer from it, whether they've actually had a traumatic experience or not.
Sweet, cool. Thank you guys. Now we are going to break it down further into a think, pair, share activity. By yourselves, I would like you to first think about what some important symptoms of depression are. Think about the common risk factors of depression and then some possible options that people can turn to for help. Once you have thought about these things, turn to a partner and share your ideas. And when you're ready, we will discuss it as a class.
Yeah, basically I came up because I want to show my work to other people as well. But I will definitely need someone proofread because we're doing discussion. What do you guys do?
So what are your thoughts on common risk factors for depression?
I'd probably say change in personality.
Yeah.
I think low self-esteem is one risk factor.
Yeah, it's a big one.
Traumatic or stressful life experiences.
Mm-hmm.
I think also having a blood relative, like a family member.
Yeah, so
Whereas
this family history.
Yeah, family history of depression or that kind of issues is one of the risk factors as well.
Yeah.
I'd say definitely having an abusive family maybe or something, of having to do with alcohol.
Yeah.
Drugs and kind of thing.
Yeah, it's like addiction and everything.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, what are your ideas on important depressive symptoms?
Probably constantly feeling down or hopeless.
Being insecure. That's one for me.
Losing interest in things you were used to do day to day.
I feel like I'm always tired all the time, lethargic. I always have a loss or a lack of energy.
Feeling empty and alone.
Mm-hmm.
I have really bad sleeping problems. Some days I sleep a lot, some days I sleep a little. I can't really have a maintained balanced sleeping pattern.
Yeah.
And probably losing or gaining weight.
Cool. Some nice ideas there. Okay, sweet. Yeah, good. Okay. So where do you think people can go to receive help to help them with depression or mental illness that they have?
I'd say in schools definitely being ready to go see friends and have peer support and the counsellors and stuff at school.
Yeah.
Definitely trusted family and friends is definitely one place you can get help.
Yeah.
Definitely on the phone there's a lot of phone lines that are there youth line, depression line and all those ones.
Yeah.
Also doctors and medical professionals, they're definitely a big one because they have the knowledge and expertise to treat you, so that's one big thing I think.
Yeah, it's huge.
And then probably professional counsellors or psychologists.
Yeah.
To help you.
Sweet. Cool, thank you guys.
We hope this presentation has been informative. Thank you for your time.